Hello everyone, it's Pastor Luther, and welcome to another children's message this week at Christ Lutheran Church in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Are you ready for your Good News Jesus Bible story? This week's Good News Bible story is especially good news. Well, to help me tell my Good News Jesus Bible story this week, I want to show you an object, and I want to show you some things inside of it. So let's look at it first, and here it is. It is what is that? That's right. It's a first aid kit. When might you need a first aid kit this summer? Well, let's look inside and let's see what's inside my first aid kit. Well, the first thing that's in my first aid kit are some Band-Aids. Got a couple different sizes of Band-Aids. And if the cut is especially big, I've got some gauze to wrap it all up. If it's small and I needed tweezers like to pull out a sliver or something, I could do that. Of course, one of the most important things whenever you get hurt or you have to dress a wound or put a Band-Aid on is to clean it first with some alcohol wipes. And so I've got some of those, and I've got a scissor to help cut tape, and I've got some safety pins if I need to pin some things together. And here, how about this as part of a first aid kit? A safety whistle, because if I need help, then I can whistle and people will hear the whistle and maybe they'll come over and help. I bet you have a first aid kit in your house. You probably have one. Maybe you have one in your car when you travel. Maybe you carry a first aid kit when you go on picnics or you go camping or you go on an adventure or all sorts of things that we do during the summer season. It's always a good idea to have a first aid kit. Okay, with that in mind, as we continue to think about our first aid kits and why we need first aid kits, let's listen to our Good News Jesus Bible story. And the name of my Good News Jesus Bible story this week is Jesus Heals. Let's listen to that story now. Jesus enjoyed teaching and healing. People everywhere heard that Jesus was a healer. They brought their sick family and friends to Jesus so he could heal them. When Jesus was near sick people, he could have gotten sick too. But Jesus didn't get sick. Instead, Jesus healed the people. Jesus always went out of his way to help. Early one morning, Jesus went to his friend Simon Peter's house. Simon Peter was very upset. Jesus, my wife's mother has a terrible fever. I know you have healed people in many places. Will you please heal her too? Jesus could feel how sad his friend was. He knelt down next to the woman, held her hand, and Jesus healed her. Jesus and his friends kept going from town to town, healing others and teaching people about God's love. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that Good News Jesus Bible story. Let's conclude our time this week with a couple of questions. Can you remember a time that maybe you got hurt and you needed first aid and someone came and helped you and someone healed you? Can you remember a time when that happened? Or maybe if you can't remember it, maybe your mom or dad or grandpa or grandma or aunt or uncle can tell you a story. Sometimes we are so young, we can't remember stories about getting hurt. So maybe our moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles can help remind us of times that people have come and given us first aid or come and given us help when we were hurt or when we were sick and we needed help. And here's my second question for you. Do you know somebody? Do you have a friend or a neighbor? Can you think of somebody who maybe is sick or hurt or lonely or afraid? Do you think maybe you could help them heal? Do you think maybe you could visit with them? Do you think maybe that you could spend a little time with them and remind them that Jesus is present with them and that Jesus loves them? Yeah, you do that. You remember that no matter what happens again, if you get hurt or when you do get hurt, that no matter who brings you the medicine or the help or the first aid, that Jesus is involved, that Jesus is with you. And when you go to help someone else, I want to remind you that Jesus is with you too and in you. And when you help someone, whoever it is that you help, they get to see Jesus and experience Jesus and know that Jesus is healing them too. Isn't that a pretty neat, good news Jesus Bible story? That Jesus heals us, Jesus is present with us, and Jesus is present with other people, and Jesus heals other people through us? All right, you remember that the next time you get hurt or you need help, you remember that Jesus is present and Jesus loves you. And the next time you see someone get hurt or you see someone need help or healing, you help them and you remember that Jesus is working through you. Okay, thanks for tuning in for another Good News Jesus Bible story. Stay safe, be well. We'll see you next time. Jesus loves you, and so do I.